Hello students. In the last section we have studied about nucleons, isotopes and isobars. Today we will see how Bohr's atomic model come into existence, how he improvises through the Rutherford's model, and what are the factors which leads to give the real information about structure of atom. So Rutherford's model, as we have already said, Rutherford's model was resembling solar system was resembling solar system. What does he says? He says nucleus is there and electrons are moving in a well defined one, but he did not explain that it is a well defined one. So according to the classical mechanics was completely based on a microscopic material which was based on a Newton's law. So guys, what happened there? He suggested that in a small scale solar system of that nucleus playing a role of a sun, this is the sun and electron is revolving like that. Okay, they are lightweighted like small planets. What exactly happened? Okay, according to this classical mechanics, what is there? Solar system. In the solar system, every planet is revolving in a well defined orbit. Okay, so when a body is moving in the orbit, it undergoes acceleration. Any body which is there, when it is going on, it undergoes an acceleration. Okay, it is it undergoes acceleration as well as when it is having a constant speed. Why? Because they are changing the direction, as you have must have learned in physics. Okay, as and when in a circle, when I just rotate one, let's say have one stone and then gravitational for rotational motion and that all, so you must have studied that in physics. So what exactly happened? Okay, when they are moving in a circular motion, at each and every point they are changing their direction, and that's why what happened? Okay, they are having acceleration according to the electromagnetic theory. Okay, now the electromagnetic theory, who gave this theory? Electromagnetic theory. The name of the scientist is Maxwell. Okay, Maxwell was the scientist. James Maxwell, who was the scientist who has given this theory. So charged particles when accelerate, he says whatever the charged particles you have, when they accelerate should emit some electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation. So according to him, when an electron is moving around the nucleus and it's a charged particle, it slowly become a spiral and come and merge with the nucleus, which was exactly the Thomson pie pudding model, a miniature pie pudding model. Now, what exactly happened? So, if electron is rotating and then what, it gets shrink and get into this, and this is not possible. Why? Because there is certain reasons why the Rutherford model cannot explain the stability, and due to this, an electron in orbit will radiate emit the radiations. Energy carried by radiation comes from electronic motion. The orbit will then continue to shrink, as I said, and then at last the Rutherford model. But this is not possible. So the Rutherford model was, this is the first drawback, cannot explain stability. Cannot explain stability. So that was the big one of the major drawback of it. And the second one was, it was not able to explain distribution of electron. Distribution of electron. So due to this two, Rutherford's drawback model of drawback, Bose started working on it, and he take two major activities which influence his study, and then he gave a well-defined atomic structure. So let's see the Bohr's atomic structure, which are the two factors which are very essential. The first is a dual character. Dual character. The dual character of, he says about that during that time it was very nice history going on, and there was interaction of radiations with the matter provide immense information regarding the structure of atoms and molecules. So they have started working on this, and Neil Bohr, very nice scientist, he studied, he used that dual character of electromagnetic radiation. Guys, I'm talking about electromagnetic radiation. Now when this radiation comes out, we will see that electromagnetic radiations, okay, these radiations are very important, okay, which means that the radiation possess both two kind of structures. Nature is there, wave like, and the second is particle like. Very small particle and very wave. Particle means what? Like a small kind of piece moving in the air. Okay, एक small nano, तो मान लो कि cotton no nano piece છે cotton, it is blowing into the air, or let's say मानो मैं भूली जाओ, forget about that. You just, when you just burn a camphor and black color soot comes out, and that black color particles are moving, smoke particles are moving in the air. Same kind of thing that we call as a particle nature. And a wave like in nature means like a sea waves, how the waves goes on. So he talks about that, okay, it has a dual character. Electromagnetic radiations have a dual character, and that plays a vital role in setting up the atom structure of atom. Then secondly, experimental results of atomic spectrum. Now this plays a very huge role to identify, because the spectra, you have already learned about a spectrum in the lower classes. In a 10th standard we have seen that one prism was capped and sunlight was given, and then 7 colors was coming out, okay, that was a vibgyor, and this was called a spectrum. So guys, these are the things which they have focused on it. Let's talk about first, okay, what is there a dual nature. Let's talk about the dual nature. So what exactly happened in the 19th century? Okay, this is actively two process goes on over there. The dual nature, we are going to talk about a dual nature. Two process, one phenomena, second phenomena. The one phenomena was absorption, excellently done on this absorption. Second one was emission. Okay, now what is absorption and what is absorption of radiated, absorption of radiated by heated object. This two phenomena, heated object, anything you heat it very nicely. Okay, let's take an example of a rod. What is heater doing? Heater is having a coiled rod inside, and when you pass electric current, what happened? That rod get heated, and when the rod get heated due to the electron, it start radiating energy, and that radiations comes out, so that is called emission. Okay, same way there is an absorption also. How the absorption takes place, I'll tell you that when a light falls on a radium, you see that radium lights are there on the glasses of cars and number plates. Nowadays the number plates are given a different mode, but previously it was like that. Number plate was given by radium, and the radium get, when you focus in the light comes over there, it absorbs that energy and then it emits electrons, and that's what it comes out to know. So these are the two phenomena which we are going to get. So this called a thermal radiations. The radiations that comes out is called thermal radiation, because after giving heat it comes out, so it's called thermal radiation. What they did, they tried out to find out the thermal radiation is made. Okay, what is it made of? Now that comes out कि भाई आनाથી heat મળે છે તો શાંતિ બનેલું છે कि what exactly it is prepared of. It is now well known that fact radiations consist of electromagnetic radiations. હવે આપણને ખબર પડી કે જે આ radiations છે કેવા છે, તો કે they are electromagnetic. Electromagnetic radiations નો મતલબ શું, તો કે which can have both the influence of electric field as well as magnetic field. Okay, so what is that? On the base of the modern concepts which were unknown in the middle of centuries, first the active study of thermal radiation occurs in 1850 and the theory of electromagnetic waves and the emission of such waves by accelerating charged particle was developed in 1870s. So James Clerk Maxwell, I called him as a JC Maxwell. This was the scientist who has studied this very nicely, and then this was later on very nicely experimentally proved by whom? Okay, by Hertz, Heinrich Hertz, and that's the reason why people are that. So these are the facts. We are going to not going to get into the experimental studies. We are just going to learn about a fact. Okay, so what is that? There are two processes when called absorption and emission. They radiate the energy. That radiation are called thermal radiations. They are nothing but they are electromagnetic radiation. Who gave that? So that was studied by James Maxwell. He was the first to give the comprehensive explanation about the interaction between charged bodies and the behavior of electrical and magnetic field. So what is that? He says this thing about it, and in previous one we have seen that okay, when you apply a magnetic field to the cathode rays, it goes towards one side, and the electric field it goes towards the other side. What does it mean? So there is a relation, and this relation was first explained by Maxwell, and he suggested that electrically charged particle moves under acceleration. Alternating electric and magnetic fields are produced and transmitted. So what he says, okay, when electron, it's like that, let's say electron, forget about an electron, let's say right now we are not knowing that this is an electron, we say charged particle, let's say charged particle. When a charged particle is moving, what exactly happened? He says okay, when they are propagating, let's say they are propagating in this direction, when they are propagating, they produce electric field as well as a magnetic field. They produce electric field as well as magnetic field and transmitted through that. So these fields are transmitted in the forms of, and what happened, these fields are transmitted through the forms of waves. They are in the form of wave, that's called electromagnetic waves. What do we call them? As an electromagnetic wave or electromagnetic radiations. So light, then they have taken that light, the light which we are using, okay, the light is electromagnetic wave. It's a radiation, it's a form of radiation known from the early days, and the speculations about its nature dates back remote ancients, and whatever that happens over there, the days the Newton light was supposed to be made in the corpuscles. So what happened, that Newton has given a one particle nature of it also. So Maxwell was again the first to reveal that light waves were associated with oscillating electric and magnetic character. It was not a particle nature. Light does not have a particle nature, as that was explained by the Newton that you must have studied in physics. So what exactly happened, guys? So there are three dimensions. Okay, the three dimensions, and although this all the things, we will consider here the few simple properties of electromagnetic radiation. In short, okay, radiations are following two absorption. It's a dual nature. One is a particle nature, and we are having a second is a wave nature. So what are the first thing? That the first thing which we are going to consider is that oscillating electric and magnetic field produced by oscillating charged particles are perpendicular to each other. Now what this point says, let's say this is x-axis. Okay, uh, hold a second. It's look like this. Okay, so this is what I want to mean it. Okay, let's say this is my y-axis. Let's say this one as a z-axis. Let me change the color over here, guys. So this is my z-axis, this is my y-axis, and this is my x-axis. Okay, so now This is the direction of propagation, of light, direction of propagation of light. So dear students, what exactly happened, that these are the propagation of light, and then if you see here in this direction, in the z direction, it's perpendicular from here, it's emit a one radiation which is showing an electric component. Okay, electric field is generated over here, and from this side I am going to change the color of it, let's say this, and then it's going on this way. So when I say this x-axis is perpendicular to y-axis and z-axis is perpendicular to x-axis, and even y and z are also perpendicular to each other, and this was that said by him, that the oscillating electric field and magnetic field produced by oscillating, this charge particle is also oscillating, it is also moving in this direction, આવી રીતે આમાં move થતો હોય, oscillate થતો હોય, are perpendicular to each other, and both are perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of wave. Simplified picture is given this one. This is what the simplified picture we are looking at. Unlike sideways, that when one, they are perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other. Okay. Secondly, what the second point he talks about? He says, unlike sound waves or waves produce, electromagnetic waves do not require any medium. Do not require medium. Any medium, do not require any medium. Okay, it is now well established that these are many types of radiations which differ from one another by one very nice form, that is called wavelength. They have a different wavelength, and we have already studied about a electromagnetic spectrum. So guys, these spectrums are very useful for us. And what are they divided? They are divided into three ways. What are the different regions of spectrum are identified by the names and the radio frequencies that we are able to listen to the radio music. Is this because of that comes in this one, 10 raised to 6 hertz. Okay, this is what the frequency which I'm talking about. Okay, frequency and wavelength, I'm going to talk about that later on. Then microwave, used for the broadcasting. Okay, this was the use for the broadcasting purpose. Then microwaves regions, microwave is 10 raised to 10. This is what the microwave is having 10 raised to 10 hertz. That is called a frequency. Okay, then what exactly have we? Have infrared. This is microwave region used for the radar. This is for the radar can pick up this frequencies very nicely. Then infrared regions, which we call as IR rays. IR rays are 10 to the 10, okay, 10 to the 13 hertz, and are used for heating. This is used for heating purpose. Okay, and then the IR goes over there, and then we can say 10 to the 16, that is called UV rays, 10 to the 16 hertz. These are the regions. In these regions, this lights fall over there, and this is nothing but it's a, in the light we have a such kind of radiations present over there. In a one spectrum we have a such kind of thing, and this all are considered as electromagnetic radiations. So the portion over here 10 is to 16 is called a sun radiations component of an UV is very dangerous. So guys, what is the region which we have to see? A very small portion, 10 is to 15 hertz portion, okay, is only the hertz portion where we can see of anything. It means that is called a visible light. It's called a visible light which we can see that. Okay, so a special use instruments are required to detect non-visible lights. Radio waves, microwaves, ultraviolet, infrared, they are not able to, we are not able to visible see that. But yes, with help of perspective, certain useful magnet, what you can say, spectrum instruments, we can see that. One of them is a spectrometer. Different kinds of units are used for the representation of electromagnetic radiations. So these radiations are explained in few ways. The first one is the wavelength. That is what the first property, or we can say a different unit. What is wavelength? Exactly, I know this is the wave, forget about that. This is the wave, let's say this is the wave. Okay, now the wave, this portion above line is called crest. below line it's called trough. So the distance between two crest or two trough is called wavelength. Okay, what is it? The distance between two crest or two troughs called wavelength. And wavelength, okay, is measured in meter. Okay, we can take it as an angstrom also. Most probably we are taking in the angstrom or centimeter. Okay, now what is 1 angstrom? So 1 angstrom is equals to 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Okay, so this was, we have to keep it in our mind. Second one is frequency. What is frequency? આપણને ખબર છે નડિયાદથી અમદાવાદ જવું હોય તો we can say what's the frequency of transportation. Normally we are not using these words over here in India, but in foreign countries they say what's about the frequency of transportation. It means they say that how many times a bus or a transportation, a cab or something like this goes to from one city to another city. So the frequency is like that from 1 second. Okay, from 1 second how many lines are passing through. Okay, how many waves are passing through, that is what called, they called as a frequency. So the number of waves passed in a given point in a 1 second. So what do we call number of waves? This is what they define. You can make note on your own. Number of waves that passes through a given point in 1 second. And frequency is, wavelength is denoted by lambda, sorry I forget. Frequency is denoted by nu. It's a nu, not mu. And its SI unit is hertz or second inverse. Why? You have already said that Heinrich Hertz was the first person to experimentally prove this, all this stuff, and that's why it is given over here. So wavelength should be the unit of length, and that's what it is. The wavelength is having a meter is unit, and then this is the one. And the third and the very important portion, that is what we called it as a speed of light. Speed, and speed is what already we know. Speed of light, we are aware that it is denoted by c, and the value is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. It means light traveled in a speed. Okay, light travel, electromagnetic radiations travel at a same speed as it the speed of light. So guys, we are taking this as a symbol c, and these are the one which are we going to use it. And there is one more number that is called wave number. That's called a wave number. The fourth one is called wave number, which is frequency, v mu. We call it as a wave number. What is the wave number? So guys, wave number are the numbers, that is number of wavelengths. Number of wavelengths per unit length. In a 1 unit length, whatever the numbers of wavelengths are passing or there, they are considered as a wave number. And wave number is nothing but it is 1 upon lambda. So its unit is meter inverse or hertz inverse. So guys, using this 3-4 equation, that is a relation between a term that is called a c. It's called a light, frequency into lambda. Frequency into lambda. Using these two formulas, we will solve many questions given over here. So dear students, this is the one which I am talking about. This is what called an wave nature that we talked about right now. Okay, and then now let us see the practical unit. Okay, the questions of numericals we will see later on. Okay, that as the one. The second part, the theory, which was very influenced and plays a vital role in setting up of atomic theory, was the particle nature. The particle nature. Now the particle nature was particularly explained by few phenomena. That one is diffraction. One is diffraction and second is interference. These two phenomena you are going to study in physics. Okay, it's very simple and classical physics knows about it. So what is that? Electromagnetic theory in 19th century says that number one, nature of emissions of radiation from hot bodies. Second, ejection of electron from matter surface when radiation strikes on it, and the variation of heat capacity of solids as a function of temperature. So these are the 3 points which are very useful for us to understand the particle nature. And the fourth one is also there, which is the line spectrum of atoms, which specially reference to the hydrogen. This phenomenon indicate that the system can take energy only in discrete amount. Discrete amount, all the possible energies cannot be taken up or radiated. Discrete amount means કે નાના નાના પેકેટ્સમાં લે, એટલે કે થોડી એનર્જી લે પછી થોડું બહાર રિમૂવ કરે, થોડી એનર્જી લે થોડું રિમૂવ કરે. Let us understand the very first topic which they talk about is that it's called a black body radiations. Particle nature was explained by black body radiation. Now what exactly this black body radiation is? So it is a black body. હવે black body નો મતલબ શું થાય? તો કે let us understand that કે આ black body છે શું exactly? So when you start, the phenomenon of black body radiation mentioned was given by Max Planck. A scientist હતો Max Planck, જેનો આપણે constant આપણે use કરીશું बहुत बड़ा. What is that? આપણને ખબર છે કે when you heat an object, it starts radiating energy. It emits electromagnetic radiations of a wide range of wavelengths. एक જ wavelength ना હોય. There may be a different wavelengths comes over here. At a high temperature, an appreciable proportion of radiation is in the visible region of the spectrum. As a result, the temperature is raised and the higher portion of a shorter wavelength like blue is generated. For example, let's take an example of an iron rod. એક iron rod લઈ લીધો, એને ફર્નેસમાં નાખી દીધો, બરાબર. જેવું તમે ફર્નેસમાં નાખો, it first turns to the dull red. પહેલા એનો કલર કેવો આવે ખબર છે? ડલ રેડ આવે. હવે આ ડલ રેડ કેમ દેખાય છે એનું કારણ બતાવો. તો કે આયર્નને ફર્નેસમાં નાખ્યો, બરાબર. We have put it into the furnace. Okay, now it looks like that dull red. પહેલો કલર જે આવ્યો એ dull red આવ્યો, એટલે તમને dull red દેખાયો. એટલે એને એમિશન કર્યું, એક પર્ટિક્યુલર કાઇન્ડનો વેવલેન્થ એમાંથી એમિટ થઈ રહી છે after getting hit. Okay, now when the first it gets, then progressively becomes more and more red. A dark થતો જાય, red and red થતો જાય, એકદમ more dark red થતો જાય. And the temperature, as the temperature increases, this is further heated and the radiation emitted becomes white. અને પછી guys એમાંથી white color નો થઈ જાય છે. And then becomes a blue. And actually a planet system માં તમને પણ ખબર છે કે blue planet હોય, blue star હોય, તો સમજી લેવાનું કે old star છે ને જવાની મરવાની તૈયારીમાં છે. The same thing is over here. Blue has become very high. This means that red radiation is most intense at a particular temperature and blue radiation is more intense at another temperature. આ વખતે જે ટેમ્પરેચર હશે એને T1 કહી દઈએ, આ વખતે જે ટેમ્પરેચર હશે T2 કહી દઈએ. એટલે ટેમ્પરેચર વેરી થાય બેટા. તો what exactly happened that the color also changes. Color also changes એટલે એની wavelength પણ change થાય. This means that is what exactly happened. The intensity of radiations of different wavelengths emitted by a hot body depend upon temperature. એટલે કે ટેમ્પરેચર પર ડિપેન્ડ કરે કે ઇન્ટેન્સિટી કેટલી છે. જેટલું વધારે ઇન્ટેન્સ, જેટલી વધારે ટેમ્પરેચર અપ્લાય કરો એટલું વધારે ઇન્ટેન્સ ને એટલા અલગ પ્રકારના what happened there, they can emit the radiations. You can see there is a wave intensity relation given in your book figure 2.8 where they have given a temperature. બહુ જ ગરમ કરી નાખે ને ત્યારે બહુ heavy temperature થઈ જશે. T2 is very higher temperature, so intensity એની વધી જાય બેટા. So what exactly happened? Also, when the surface of radiation is irradiated with light, okay, a part of radiant energy is generally reflected. As such, a part of absorbed and a part of transmitted. Okay, so what exactly happened? An ideal body which emits and absorbs radiation. So what is it called? an ideal body which emits and absorb radiations, okay, is called, such a body is called a black body. ઓકે, તો શું કરે, પહેલા એ એમિટ કરે અને પછી એ એબ્સોર્બ કરવાનું ચાલુ કરે. તો આવી જે બોડી છે ને એને આપણે શું કહીએ છીએ, તો કે બ્લેક બોડી કહીએ છીએ. એન્ડ ધીસ બ્લેક બોડી પ્રેક્ટિસમાં કોઈ પણ એવી બોડી નથી કે વિચ એક્ઝિસ્ટ એઝ અ બ્લેક બોડી, બટ યસ અંડર સર્ટેન સર્કમસ્ટાન્સીસ કાર્બન બ્લેક જે છે એપ્રોક્સિમેટલી, બરોબર, બહુ નજીક છે એ બ્લેક બોડીને. ઓકે, a good physical approximation of black body is a cavity with a tiny hole, okay, which has no opening. Okay, so the another ray entering in the hole will reflect it back the cavity wall and eventually they absorb the sun. So the black body is also a perfect radiator. So कोई भी black body होए बेटा ये energy radiate करे ने करे. And furthermore, a black body is in a thermal equilibrium with its surroundings. It radiates the same amount of energy per unit area as it absorbs from the surrounding it gives. So the amount of light emitted from a black body and its spectral distribution depends upon temperature. તો શું સૌથી મોટું છે, તો કે એની ટેમ્પરેચર સૌથી વધારે મહત્વનું છે. અને બ્લેક બોડી એટલે શું, એ બોડી કે જે એમિટ પણ કરે છે અને એબ્ઝોર્બ પણ કરે છે. શું, તો કે electromagnetic radiations, then such a body is called this one. And that's why this helps a very very nice way. કેમ, તો કે આનું જ્યારે સ્પેક્ટ્રમ લેવામાં આવ્યું, ઓકે, સો they come to know કે ભાઈ કે એક સાથે બધી એનર્જી લેતો નથી. How does it prove? It proves from this color beta. And that's why what exactly happened કે ભાઈ the results of the experiment could not explain satisfactorily on the basis of wave theory of light. Max Planck comes to here, arrived at a relation by making an assumption. એને પણ છેલ્લે assumption કરી શું, કે absorption and emission of radiation arises from oscillator, એટલે that is atoms in the wall of a black body. એટલે કે એ બ્લેક બોડીની જે વોલ છે એના પર અથડાયા પછી એ ડેવલપ થતા હતા. and that's why their frequency of oscillation is changed by the interaction of oscillator of magnetic field. એટલા માટે કે temperature પર એના particles ત્યાં અથડાય. and then he suggested that, okay, so Planck assume કર્યું the radiation could be subdivided into discrete chunk. એટલે કે અહીંયાથી જે એનર્જી મળી એ થોડી વાર ત્યાંની ત્યાં જ રહેશે, પછી બીજી એનર્જી મળશે. એટલે એને એવું લાગ્યું કે થોડાક અમાઉન્ટમાં છે. ઇટ મીન્સ કે લાઈક ધેટ કે ઇફ યુ વોન્ટ ટુ reduce your weight, what doctor suggested you don't stop eating. Okay, it's not going to be fasting help or will help you, but if fasting will even reverse the process. It means what you have to do, you have to break your meal, थोड़ा time में खाओ. So what happened exactly, the metabolism activity goes on very faster. And this the same thing happen over here. So guys, what happened exactly, तो कि थोड़ी energy મળે છે. And this assumption, Planck assumed that radiation could be subdivided into chunks, different chunks of energy. He suggested that atoms and molecules could emit or absorb. એટલે એને એવું લાગ્યું કે જે એટમ જે છે એ એબ્ઝોર્બ પણ કરે છે લાઇટ અથવા એમિટ પણ કરે છે. કોને, તો કે રેડિયેશનને. એન્ડ ઓનલી બટ કેવી, કન્ટિન્યુઅસ નથી, એ ડિસ્ક્રીટ એટલે છૂટી થોડી quantities and not in a continuous manner. Continuously નથી લાઇટ છોડતો. and this he gave the name as this one. અને એણે એક નામ આપ્યું એને, જેનું નામ છે quantum. It's a quantum, very very nice part that he has given. Quantum to the smallest quantity. What is it? It's a smallest quantity of light, બરાબર, which is energy. light ની જગ્યા આપણે energy રાખો, energy that can be emitted or absorbed. And that's why this energy he suggested and gives a question and a Planck equation કહીએ છે. energy is mu into, એટલે કે એને આવું લખ્યું હતું, energy is directly proportional to the frequency. કેમ, તો કે ક્વોન્ટમમાં ફ્રીક્વન્સી આવે અને ફ્રીક્વન્સીને રિલીઝ કરવા માટે h આપીએ અને h as to rememorate or commemorate him, his whatever that we can say discoveries and that explanations, contribution given to the science. given as a Planck constant. This is Planck constant and the value is very constant. આપણે એને ડેપ્થમાં નથી જવાના પણ આ વેલ્યુ યાદ રાખવાની છે બેટા અને it's a part of energy. That's why it's called 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. In 1 second, this many joules of energy is related, and this theory was able to explain the distribution of intensity in the radiation from the black body as a function of frequency or wavelength, and that's why this quantization takes place over here. And quantization that gives us a very nice thing. કેવી રીતે થયું તો કે આપણને ખબર પડી કે ભાઈ એક a person can stand on one step, any step at a staircase, but it is impossible for him or to between the two steps. એટલે એવું કીધું એને આ એનર્જીને લઈને એવું કીધું કે આ એક સ્ટેપ્સ છે માની લઈએ. હવે હું કાં તો અહીંયા માણસ ઊભો રાખું કાં તો અહીંયા ઊભો રાખું, બરોબર? એ આ બેની વચ્ચે કોઈ જગ્યા પર ઊભો રહી શકે ના. સો he suggested that કે જે ક્વોન્ટનાઇઝેશન છે આ એનર્જીનું ક્વોન્ટનાઇઝેશન છે એ કાં તો આવું હોવું જોઈએ. એટલે એણે આગળ એક વેલ્યુ લગાવી E is equals to NH mu, where he suggested કે n 0 પણ હોઈ શકે, બરોબર? પછી 0 હોય તો વેલ્યુ 0 મળે. If I'm going to keep n is equals to 1, I will get h mu. If I'm going to get n is equals to 2, and this what exactly happened કે this help us to understand કે આવી કોઈક વેલ્યુ હોવી જોઈએ જે એનર્જીની વેલ્યુ હશે. So this was the Planck theory which help us to understand many things. And now in the next session what will we do? We'll study about a photoelectric effect. So the first one was a black body and a black body radiation પરથી theory આપી પ્લેન્કે અને પ્લેન્કે આપણને એવું કીધું કે જે ઇન્ટેન્સિટી છે ડાયરેક્ટલી ડિપેન્ડ છે ટેમ્પરેચર ઉપર અને ટેમ્પરેચરના લીધે આપણને એક વેલ્યુ મળી. And this equation is going to be useful for us to find it out the energy of a particular frequency. કોઈ બી ફ્રીક્વન્સીનું લઈએ તો now let's see photoelectric effect. હવે પ્લેન્ક ગયો અને બીજો માણસ આવ્યો કે જેનું નામ છે હર્ટ્ઝ, હેનરિકસ હર્ટ્ઝ. ઓકે, તો એને શું કર્યું તો કે he gave a photoelectric effect. photoelectric effect એટલે શું? તમે લાઇટમાં આવો, બરોબર, અને એમાંથી શું થાય કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ ઇજેક્ટ થાય. એણે જે પરફોર્મ કરે એક્સપેરિમેન્ટ એમાં શું હતું કે વેરી ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ એક્સપેરિમેન્ટ ઇન વિચ ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ વર ઇજેક્ટેડ. એણે જોયું કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ નીકળે છે. કેવી રીતે નીકળ્યા તો કે કોઈ બી એક મેટલ લઈ લીધું એની પર, જેવા કે મેટલ કે એને કેવા લીધા હતા મેટલ, સોડિયમ, પોટેશિયમ, રૂબેડિયમ એવા મેટલ લીધા હતા. અને એની પર શું કર્યું કે જ્યારે એક બીમ ઓફ લાઇટ એક્સપોઝ કરવામાં આવી તો that light electrons were emitted, એટલે કે ત્યાંથી લાઇટ જનરેટ થઈ. ઓકે, એક સ્પોટ્સ નીકળ્યો અને એ સ્પોટને એને શું કીધું that this effect is called a photoelectric effect. તો એના ઓબ્ઝર્વેશન પરથી રિઝલ્ટ શું આવ્યું તો ફર્સ્ટ એક હતું શું તો કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ આર ઇજેક્ટેડ, પણ શામાંથી તો કે ઇજેક્ટેડ ફ્રોમ મેટલ સરફેસ. એક મેટલ સરફેસ પરથી એક ઇલેક્ટ્રોન ઇજેક્ટ થતા હતા. ક્યારે? as soon as light strike the metal. light LIGH light strikes the surface. So guys, મેટલની જે સરફેસને સ્ટ્રાઇક કરે અને તરત નીકળે. there is no time lag. જેવો અથવા એવો ફટાક દઈને બહાર નીકળ્યો. between striking and light of beam, ejection of light. This was the first observation given by him. The second one, એને શું કીધું? the number of electron ejected is proportional. So electron જેટલા eject થયા is proportional to the intensity. It means કે તમે કયા પ્રકારની લાઇટ અંદર ફેંકો છો. A bright light is produced, then electrons are more produced. A dull light is produced, then it was like that less number of electrons are producing. અને એણે એ પણ કીધું કે કેવી એનર્જી જોઈએ તો કે there is a minimum frequency વાળી લાઇટ આપવાની. મિનિમમ ફ્રીક્વન્સી. અને મિનિમમ ફ્રીક્વન્સીને બેટા એણે નામ આપી દીધું થ્રેશહોલ્ડ ફ્રીક્વન્સી. થ્રેશહોલ્ડ ફ્રીક્વન્સી. હવે આ જે ફ્રીક્વન્સી હતી થ્રેશહોલ્ડ ફ્રીક્વન્સી એને μ0 કહી દીધો. એટલે શું તો કે આટલી તો મિનિમમ હોવી જ જોઈએ. જો લાઇટની ઇન્ટેન્સિટીની frequency, if you don't have this much the light you are throwing on the metal, then the electron will not eject. And from the above results, but what about that, this is what exactly happened, and the kinetic energy plays a vital role over here, and thus the electron increases with the increase in the frequency of light use. આપણે જેટલી frequency light ની મારો એમાં થાય વધારે થાય. All the above results could not explain on the basis of classical physics, અને આ બધી વસ્તુ classical physics આપી નથી શકતી. And that's why the energy contained to the beam of light depends on the brightness. બીજા શબ્દોમાં કહીએ તો number of electrons ejected and kinetic energy is associated depends on the brightness. એટલે બધું શાની પર ડિપેન્ડ કરતું હતું તો કે બ્રાઇટનેસ પર ડિપેન્ડ કરે. કોની તો કે બ્રાઇટનેસ ઓફ લાઇટ. અને આના પરથી એક ઇક્વેશન બન્યું, અને એ ઇક્વેશન કોણે આપ્યું તો કે ધેટ ઇક્વેશન gives us કે ભાઈ એક વસ્તુ છે કે ઇજેક્ટેડ લાઇટ કેટલી હતી, કેટલા વીક, કઈ લાઇટ નાખો તો કયું મળતું હતું. તો આઇન્સ્ટાઇન was able to explain the photoelectric current using Planck quantum. Okay, એટલે આઇન્સ્ટાઈને 1905માં એણે આ થિયરી ઓફ ઇલેક્ટ્રોમેગ્નેટિક રેડિયેશન્સના સ્ટાર્ટિંગ પોઈન્ટથી લઈ ચાલુ કરી, અને ભૈલાએ આપણને એક બહુ મસ્ત ઇક્વેશન આપ્યું, અને એણે એવું કીધું કે જે એનર્જી છે એ એચ મ્યુ તો જોઈએ ને જોઈએ જ, બરોબર, એટલે કે મિનિમમ ફ્રીક્વન્સી જોઈએ. તો આ તો આપણને પ્લેન્કે કીધું હતું જ. એમાં એણે કાઇનેટિક એનર્જી પણ એડ કરી. તો કાઇનેટિક એનર્જી એટલે શું, હાફ એમ વી સ્ક્વેર આવે, વેલોસિટી કહેવાય, અને વી એટલે માસ કોણ તો કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોનનું માસ. અને આ જે લીધું એટલે એચ મ્યુ ઇઝ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ ધીસ. અને બેટા આ જ્યારે એણે આવું લીધું તો મિનિમમ એનર્જી રિક્વાયર્ડ ટુ ઇજેક્ટ માટે આપણે એક વર્ડ વાપરીએ છીએ જેને કહે છે વી માઇનસ મ્યુ નોટ. આને કહેવાય વર્ક ફંક્શન. વોટ ડુ વી કોલ ધેટ એઝ અ વર્ક ફંક્શન. સો ગાઈઝ આ વર્ક ફંક્શનના લીધે ઇક્વલ ટુ ધેટ કરી અને એણે ખબર પડી અને આપણને એક મસ્ત વસ્તુ મળી ગઈ. સો ડ્યુઅલ બિહેવિયર ઓફ મેગ્નેટિક રેડિયેશન્સના લીધે આપણને ખ્યાલ આવી ગયો કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોન જે છે અથવા તો એટમ જે છે ઇટ possess both the things. શું તો કે એક વેરી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ કે એ પાર્ટિકલ ટાઈપનો પણ છે અને વેવ નેચર પણ ધરાવે છે. સો પાર્ટિકલ ઇલેક્ટ્રોમેગ્નેટિક રેડિયેશન્સમાં નેચર પાર્ટિકલે બહુ મોટો રોલ ભજવ્યો હતો. તો કે એક વસ્તુ છે કે બહુ મોટો ક્વેશ્ચન થઈ ગયો બધા વચ્ચે કે ભાઈ ચાર ફિનોમિનન એવી નીકળી, બ્લેક બોડી રેડિયેશન ને ફોટો ઇલેક્ટ્રિક, એ કહે છે કે પાર્ટિકલ નેચર છે, બરોબર. બટ ઇન્ટરફરન્સ અને ડિસ્કશન શું કહે છે તો કહે છે કે on the other hand was not consistently known for the behavior of light could be phenomenon like this. સો એ એવું કહેવા માંગે બંને કન્ફ્યુઝનમાં. એટલે શું થયું તો કે લાસ્ટલી એ લોકોએ ડિરાઇવ કરીને મૂકી દીધું કે ભાઈ આ વેવ નેચર પણ છે અને પાર્ટિકલ નેચર પણ છે, because there are proofs which help them to come to the last decision. So guys, we have studied today about this thing. There are certain numerical based on these formulas which you have to do it. Clear? And which are the examples that we will see tomorrow, certain examples on the basis of that. And then we will study about a spectroscopy and a line spectrum and absorption spectrum, which is very, very useful for us. Thank you. Have a nice time.